Yo, welcome back to the Nerds with Glasses podcast. I am your host, Knowledge.
What's up, guys? And I'm Javi.
And here at Nerds with Glasses podcast, we talk about our favorite stories of the week. And we got a lot this week because there's been some real big stuff going on. The first one was with the new 3DS.
Yeah, this story is one of those, I don't know how I feel yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy it, but it's still like, I don't know how I feel. Like, I'm kind of angry.
Okay, so tell us about it. What happened?
So there's a new DS out in Japan only right now.
Yeah, it's going to come out in October.
Right. It's apparently has a little bit more power than our 3DS right now. The processor's better or something along those lines. But right now it's only in Japan. It's getting a new, I guess, C-stick.
Yeah.
What you would call it from the GameCube.
Yeah.
Another stick pretty much. It's getting 2 bumpers.
Yeah.
And just a little bit different design of how the DS is now.
Yeah. And it sounds cool. I mean, it's because they always upgrade their handhelds, and all the systems do it, which isn't bad. But the thing that is bad about it
is right now they're gonna have an exclusive port, game ported over from the Wii, over to the 3DS, and it's only for that specific DS apparently.
Yeah, so that's the weird part is they're porting over Xenoblade Chronicles, which is a really good Wii RPG.
Title, right?
Yeah, so it's gonna be on the new 3DS. But the new 3DS isn't a new console. It's just like a new handheld. Yeah. It's more of just like a new like an upgrade.
It's like the Game Boy Advance going to Game Boy SP.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
They change the design.
Exactly.
A little bit though. This one's not even.
Or like the DS and the DSi. Right. So like they've done this before, but this kind of having like an exclusive game is it's very dangerous waters. Because I think they're going to split their fan base.
Right, because even the DSi, if I'm not mistaken, had its own exclusive games.
Yeah.
But it kind of like had a library already.
But like the DSi, here's the thing. The DSi had exclusive games that were enhanced by the DSi. But,
the camera.
But they weren't, you could still play them without the DSi. Kind of like the 2DS, where it's like, you can't play 3D, but you can just
you can still play
the game. You just can't play it in 3D.
And I haven't tried it because I have the 2DS. I haven't tried playing because I'm sure there's some games that have 3D, like that's their main thing. So like that's the main part of it. So I wonder if those games are just different on the 2DS.
Yeah.
Without having that feature, because it says please turn on your 3D feature.
Yeah.
What if you don't have that feature?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, and that's a good question. And that's something that. I mean, I guess if that's the case, then they might be doing that already, and I didn't even know about that. But I think, I'm pretty sure they're all playable.
Yeah, most of the games I've seen at GameStop have started like adopting the like sticker or something that says also playable on the 2DS.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it does help because people will like don't want to buy the game and not think about it. Because most people that buy it don't think about it. Like that's what happened. I'm sure that's what happened with the Wii U. Everyone bought Wii U games thinking they would work on their Wii.
Yeah. What the fuck is this shit? Like, why won't it play?
Yeah, but
So, but then that means if that's true, then obviously it's true. But if there's some games that are not playable on the 2DS and only on the 3DS, that means they're splitting their fan base into 3. I guess I can't. I'm not want to talk. They're obviously successful, but the 3DS did take a while to take off.
Right. Oh yeah.
I started off pretty slow, especially compared to the other handhelds.
The DS, like when the DS
and the Game Boy and all that. So I don't know. It just seems it kind of irks me a little bit because I don't care because I know I don't have a 3DS right now.
Yeah. Right.
So like if for example if they announced it now. The other thing is that, like you stated earlier, it's only in Japan right now. It's going to come out in October.
And there's no release. Oh, there's a release date for
Europe. They just said 2015. They didn't say.
That's still a release.
Okay, whatever. It's 2015, but then Nintendo of America wouldn't confirm anything.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's gonna come here.
It has to come here.
It has to come here.
The whole thing with Europe is they're right next to not right next to. I mean, they're probably not that much closer than we are, but they are technically on the same side of the world.
and no, you can't even argue that. I just think it's just a different fan base.
It always seems like they've been getting stuff just before us. I mean,
I just think that they're the people who play there are different. You know, like it's like in Europe, like PC games for some reason are a lot more popular than they are in America in general. Like if you were to break it down by percentages,
right?
You know what I mean? So maybe they have a specific fan base where they know that that in Europe the 3DS would take off. Just kind of like in Japan, they don't play American consoles really. Like they don't. Xbox doesn't sell as well, so like they don't release it there till a year later, just because they
don't have any games.
Yeah, but it does seem weird to me though, just because like as far as I know, I don't have no statistics to back this up, but I mean people play 3DS a lot. I know a lot of people who have 3DSs, and I know a lot of people who would buy it off rip, like if it came out with and like it's significant improvements. Like it's not just like, oh, your battery life is longer. It's 15%
brighter, 50% more brightness.
Yeah, and it's
which
like,
kills your battery. So what's the point?
No, like I remember seeing that like the DS Lite or something is like, oh, it's 15% smaller, but the screen is 20% bigger, and you're like, okay, that's cool, you know. But like this is like, you're getting more buttons, you're getting more functionality, you're getting like...
Yeah, like that's the fact that they're actually adding that second joystick.
Yeah.
Which there's already an accessory you can buy to put it on. Not on as far as I know, not on the 2DS, but on the 3DS. It's just like, okay, that's really cool that they're actually finally doing that.
and I know, to me, when they said that, I immediately thought of Smash Brothers. Because personally, I was a player. When I play Smash Brothers, I always use a C stick to do the smash, unless I was gonna charge it. Mm-hmm. You know, like if I charge it, I did it with a button. Otherwise, I just do a quick flick, a flick. So I was like, oh, maybe I thought that was just like a specific Smash Brothers thing. But
well, like, there was another game I recently tried playing, which was Monster Hunter 3, I believe, for the DS. I think I just played the demo, but I couldn't play it just because it felt really weird moving the camera around. Yeah. So that second stick, which kind of looks weirdly positioned. Yeah. I don't know, but it definitely would have helped if that's gonna be like the new camera. Yeah. You know, because like for games like 3D games like that, where you move the camera, where you have free movement over the camera.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because it's guys, you'll see it's not like it's not really like a second joystick. It really is like a small little nub.
Yeah, it would look perfect, like you said, it would be a perfect C stick.
It's like a C stick, yeah. It's just like a second, it's just like a little second joystick that will add functionality, but it's not intended for like first person shooter. I can't imagine. Yeah, like playing, like Call of Duty on there or something. No, but I mean we'll see what happens with this story. But like I said, just to me, it kind of irks me that they would kind of split their fan base.
I just hope that it doesn't mean like, I mean, well, because the 3DS is still kind of new, I guess you would say. Yeah. So I don't want them to start like kind of getting the exclusivity, like, you know, getting like games I want to play. I mean, like I said, I there's more than likely I'm gonna buy it, but it still kind of sucks that I have to buy it. Imagine Smash Brothers. Yeah. Imagine if the new Pokemon was only on this new 3DS. It's just like,
then you have to buy it if you want to play it.
And it's like, so are they stopping making games for my 3DS that I bought a couple months ago?
Yeah, it does. It does suck if they do that, because you expect that when it's a new console, but not when it's an upgrade. Mm-hmm. So I hope they don't do it. Either way, now I'm almost like 100% sure I'm gonna wait till some sort of announcement at least. Like,
you know what I just thought of? I just hope it doesn't lose its backwards compatibility with the regular DS. Also,
damn, that'd be good.
Because that's what they usually do. Yeah. The first iteration has the backwards compatibility. Then once the upgrade comes, they take that out. Maybe that's how they put the faster processor. They took out whatever it was that. I mean, you know. So I don't know. I hope they don't.
Because I'm not a video game scientist or anything, but this is one thing that I've learned about it, because I used to be like everybody else, like, why isn't it backwards compatible? Like, it's an older console. It has to be easy to just run the games, but that's not the case. The technology is different, And so it's not as simple as just running the game on a different, when you run it on different specs, then you have to emulate it. You can't literally just play it on there. Like, it has to be emulated, which takes a lot of power. Like, and the perfect example is PC emulators. Like, to this day, it's still hard to emulate Dreamcast, even if you had the highest fucking...
Really?
Even if you had the most potent computer, like, it's really hard to emulate PS2 and fucking Dreamcast on your computer because it's a completely different system. And so it's not just like, oh, if the computer's like 10 million times more powerful than the PS2, it should be easy just to...
Yeah, but it was made for the PS2.
Yeah, it was made with this specific technology,
okay.
with this specific thing. So, like, that's why they take them out, because it's, in the long run, it saves them money. Because in order to put backwards compatibility, that means that they added some sort of, like, Game Boy chip or something like that. Like,
yeah.
But we'll see what happens with this. I say if I'm you guys, I'm gonna wait just at least till I hear an announcement where they say, okay, it's gonna come out in 2016. Then I'll be like, okay, I'll just buy the 3DS now and then upgrade. Hopefully they have some sort of upgrade program too.
Yeah, like, I like it how Steam does it. Like, for example, if you have like the previous games in a series, when you're like, especially pre-order, you get 10% off. Something better, hopefully better than that.
Yeah, but
because this is like a over $100 system.
Yeah,
not a $60 game. So
I would say, like, it'd be cool if let's say you turned in your 3DS and it's in good condition, and they give you like $100 guaranteed for it. You know, even though that you regularly they'll pay you like $60 or something like that.
Do you think, like, I've never traded in a system like especially handhelds.
Yeah.
Like, I have all my Game Boys all beat up now.
Yeah.
But I've never been able to trade them in, like, for the next one.
No. Like, you mean you haven't been able to because your soul doesn't allow it, or because they won't take it?
No. It's like, I just don't want, like, it's not even like I'm thinking about trading in. I just go to buy the next.
Yeah.
I just bought the 3DS without even thinking about, oh, I'm gonna turn in my DS. I'm like, no, I'm gonna have two systems now. You know what I mean? Like, I never thought about it, like, trying to save money in that way, because it never felt like it actually mattered how much it, like, because it felt like they didn't give you shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I'm one of those people. We talked about this before about value and stuff.
Right.
Some people will say to themselves, okay, they bought the 3DS. Let's say you bought the first DS and it cost you $160 or whatever. And then later on the DSi comes out, and then some people will literally trade it in even if they only get $50 for it, just because they feel like it's a waste of money to rebuy a DSi. But, like, to me, it's like, if you really played your DS, you got all your money's worth.
Right.
Like, so there's no need for you to turn it in and get minimal amount of money. Like, for me, it's just keep it. So what? Like, like
you're gonna spend as much time as you did on the next one.
Yeah.
And you'll still probably use the old one.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I mean, the DS and 3DS is a little bit different, but, like, I love the way the Game Boy felt.
Yeah.
Compared to the Game Boy Advance for a long time.
Yeah.
After the Game Boy Advance came out, just because of the way it is.
Yeah.
After a while, I got used to the Game Boy Advance, so I stopped playing my Game Boy. But it was just like, I could put Red in the Game Boy Advance, my Pokemon Red, but I would rather play on my Game Boy.
Yeah.
It wasn't until, like, maybe, like, when the DS was coming out, or the SP was coming out, that I started playing Red on my Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
And the other one just kind of sat there collecting dust.
And it would have been worthless for you, kind of just to turn in your Game Boy Color or whatever.
Yeah, I don't even know if they would have done that back then.
I mean, back then they probably would have, because it would have been, next time, that's the next iteration. But it was just kind of like, I mean, I still like playing it on my Game Boy. I already got all my money's worth, like, so there's
I don't need any more money from this system.
Yeah,
I don't need to sell it.
I've spent 10,000 hours playing Pokemon.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's just values and money.
Speaking of value of money, how do you feel about DLCs?
DLC, let's go. Okay, I like DLCs in general. I know a lot of people hate them, but I like it when they do it the right way. Obviously, when you're getting ripped off, I hate it.
Yeah, like, season passes are a little bit...
Season passes are shady.
Sometimes they're cool, sometimes they're not, but at the same time, they kind of help this whole not part, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They help the bad side. But like camos, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't like that these games have camos or skins. It's like, dude, like
You don't need to buy it.
you don't need to buy it. I mean,
If
if
you
you want to look amazing,
Yeah.
buy it. I mean, obviously, if you're mad, it's because you want it. You just don't want to pay for it. You just pay for it. You know what I mean?
I mean, if you want to look like a beast, you'll buy it. No, yeah, it's I bought one camo,
And do you ever use any other camo?
I love the camos on Black Ops 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do. I don't use any other camo. I use that one. It's man, I forgot what it's called, but it looks like a Halo Forerunner. Like it's like shining like orange light.
Oh, the cyborg.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like that one. But anyways, yeah, I never. All the other camos that come out, I don't buy them. But you know, like who cares? It's
but
just
if I want to
camos.
buy the Mexican flag for my gun or for my gamer tag, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
You know?
No, but DLCs, Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's
Mario.
That's what I wanted to bring the
All
story
right.
to it.
So Mario Kart is fucking getting DLC,
Besides the Mercedes-Benz DLC, they
which
recently
is
had.
free.
Which is free.
Which is free, but they're getting a paid DLC, and this is adding a lot of stuff on this one, right?
I mean, depends on how you see it. I feel it's adding 6 new characters for both packs. I think each pack is $8 each, $12. You can buy them both for $12, which is obviously the better deal. But it comes with 3 new characters. I know Link, Dry, Bowser, and Cat Peach.
Yeah.
Which is
Whatever.
more of a skin than it is.
All I heard was Link.
And of course, the villagers. But they're also something I never really played the game, but I always loved them in Smash Brothers. The F-Zero Kart.
Yeah.
You're gonna get an F-Zero ship skin for your car, pretty much.
That's fucking sick. I like that. And I think it's gonna be $15. If I'm not mistaken, or 10.
I thought it was 12 for everything.
Oh, 12. Okay.
Yeah,
so
if I'm
12.
not mistaken, it was 8 each, 12 for both.
Okay, awesome. I think it's cool just because Nintendo is kind of new to the DLC realm, and they kind of really did it the right way because it's fan service. Like, I would want to get it just for Link.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I remember they released a picture with Link, and that they
everyone's
knew
like it's fake.
Yeah, like Eric, dude. They knew that's what people wanted to see. They knew, and like I'm sold. That's it. It's like, well, let me tell you what's in the rest of. No, I don't need to hear what's in the rest of the pack.
Wait, there's more than just
Link
isn't his own pack. What do you guys?
I thought this was a Link DLC. What the fuck? Yeah, I mean, Mario Kart 8 is fucking amazing. It's an amazing ass game. Fun to play. Has a lot of replayability.
Battles,
yeah.
Only downside, battles. But like a lot of people would, probably instead of want this, I mean, besides the characters, actually the characters are fine, but they would probably like want in this included like maps.
Yeah.
I would definitely like them to make new, like rehash one of the battle maps, like the GameCube, like something, because I mean the maps are fine, but I'm kind of like I would buy this, but I wish there was maps. I wish there was something like that, a new cup.
And the good thing about this would be you wouldn't even feel ripped off because it already has so many maps.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, you can't feel like, you can't feel like other games where you're like, oh, of course, there's more maps. Yeah, like,
Call of Duty has one good map on the disc.
Yeah. And now I gotta buy these other shitty maps, hoping to get the remake
Each one
of
has
the good one. Yeah,
good one.
What's that called? But yeah, you wouldn't feel ripped off at all. I like your idea though. I think it'd be cool because now that they have DLC, now they can listen to fan feedback where people didn't like the battle system, so they
fix that or at least update it.
New game mode, or some shit like that.
Yeah. The good battle system, like just something else, because I don't know.
Not your shit system
that you put in the game.
Yeah.
But I mean the DLC is fine. I like it, but I mean I wonder. Usually people always go ape shit over DLC, but I wonder how they're going, because a lot of people don't give too much shit on. I mean, they do talk shit to Nintendo and shit, but they seem to be honestly kind of flying under the radar of that. You know? Like Xbox, PS4, and PC get like everyone just hating on them, and Nintendo gets like haters too. But on stuff like this, if it was on Xbox, people would go crazy.
I think it's just because they've done it the right way. They I'm sure they released other DLC for other games. I don't know. This is the first one that I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, this is the first one. It's a game I am actually playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then also Nintendo has a whole virtual console where they continually have re-released goddamn Ocarina of Time, and
how many times have you bought it?
Yeah, like, and I buy it every fucking time for some reason.
Right.
But I'm not even angry. I don't know. Maybe they have like some secret sauce that they put out there
in their games. All the handhelds. That's how
Yeah.
they got us, because everyone had some kind of handheld, or at least played it.
Yeah.
So they have. That's where they started their subliminal messages.
Yeah.
towards us, started conditioning us towards.
Yeah, you will like the remake of this game.
You will like every single Mario thing we put out.
Okay, that sounds good. But speaking of Zelda, and Link, I saw this cool story. So there's these two guys. Their name escapes me right now.
I know one of them is
Pablo. Yeah.
They're artists, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the
right?
two artists, and they've been working for 2 years now. But we just saw they recently released another video. So they've been working on a Zelda Majora's Mask HD, and that is really cool, dude. If you guys look at this, like, I'll link their video in the description because I just think it's really good. They're taking all like the assets, and if you know what assets are in the game, it's kind of like the 3D designs, the grass designs,
the character models,
like enemy models, everything, like walls and grass and maps and all that. And they basically have taken those models, restructured them, and added HD textures. And it's taking a long time because you gotta think. It's two guys, and think about in a game. I mean, really think about how much stuff, every rock,
I wonder like how many different models of grass. There are like there's like 20 for just the grass, 30 rocks, like stuff they have to like pretty much not necessarily. Obviously, they have the asset there, so it's a lot easier than having to build it from the ground up.
Yeah.
But they just, it still has to go in there and make sure everything looks. They want to make sure everything's gonna look good. These are fans. These aren't people getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
They're doing it because they love the game, and it's just they're spending like 3 days on one of the grass.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know they're putting their heart and soul into it, which kind of breaks my heart because I know they can't be ignorant about it. They know that if it ever came down to it where they actually finished it and they wanted to make the game and release it,
it's all up to Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo. I think I would bet any amount of money that Nintendo would say no.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They are making it out to seem like it's a pitch.
Yeah.
But it's like one of those pitches where they have the thing finished, just release it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. We don't need any credit. We just really want this. I really. It makes me think about how important the community is,
right.
And like, cause there's another thing that just they released too was about fucking Saints Row 4 that they actually released like the development kit that people can start messing with that world too.
Can you describe what a developer? I don't.
It's just like it's basically all the assets, like
so basically towards the public. Like I'm sure the Zelda isn't public necessarily.
It's such an old game that
someone was able to pull it out.
It
wasn't like an official
from the game.
Yeah, it wasn't like an official development kit given out to everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Like something like Half-Life has, Gary's mod where you can go in and just mess around with the entire engine.
Yeah, and just make your own game basically, and that's what people do. So I think a lot of the developers are seeing the importance in that. And I would just really hope that Nintendo would see that, because Nintendo really, you think about how much community stuff is out there for them. Like, I can't think of many things.
Yeah, it's so weird because they're like from the the current game developers or whatever you call them. They're like everyone keeps them in awe just because they're Nintendo. It's Nintendo, you know what I mean? Like Microsoft and Xbox are fairly new. PlayStation, Sony, compared to Nintendo are still very young.
Yeah.
So it's just like these guys have been in the game for so long, but it doesn't seem like it seems like they're definitely that old man that
grumpy old man that doesn't know how to change with the times.
Yeah, he gives you a shitload of allowance money to do random jobs, but other than that, he doesn't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's what it seems like. I hope that's not the case, but that's what it really seems like with Nintendo.
Yeah, and
in a lot of cases.
And I'm just hoping with this Majora's Mask stuff that maybe they will listen to the pitch, and because they're really protective over all their licenses, which they should be. They should be.
Yeah, they don't want that one thing to fuck it up where anyone can now use it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for them, is the better strategy to shut everything down, to be so defensive. But it looks really bad.
And you miss out on a bunch of great things. Like in Halo, you had like red versus blue.
Yeah.
Or you had like
how
people
big
making.
Has that got in,
exactly, they're their own fucking network. Rooster Teeth, like that's how big they are. And or you think about other stuff like people making Forge maps and like these maps being actually used in multiplayer matchmaking, like if they're good enough, or being used in tournaments, like
people making money off of Minecraft servers. Like people are making a living right now, just making a server and letting people just basically creating this thing that you could create, but for everyone, kind of thing. Yeah,
and it just keeps pushing their games, and I think that can be a problem. That's the problem with Nintendo, and I'm gonna keep a close eye on this Majora's Mask stuff. I subscribe to their channel. They don't videos. Yeah, they have like 3 videos, but it's because the shit takes a long time to do.
And I'm sure they don't want too much attention yet.
Yeah,
I'm sure like that one intern from Nintendo has seen it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
and he tells Shigeru Miyamoto,
like,
and then
who are you?
And they drop the hammer. And no, they got a lot of views. They got like 500,000.
They got a lot of views.
Yeah, because they're doing a really good job, man. So I mean, hopefully they'll make it playable at some point, and then maybe we could play. I love the Majora's Mask. I think it's probably the most underrated Zelda game.
It's the only one I haven't played.
Because
I got the other one. I haven't played the other one.
I'm not gonna say it got bashed. It didn't get bashed, but when you're the next game after Ocarina of Time, there's nothing you can do. Like, and it was definitely different. It was darker, and people didn't love it as much. But then it has like this whole cult following behind it, where it was like, fuck that Majora's Mask over everything. So Titanfall, Respawn Entertainment is trying to make some moves, man.
I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things like this move, I understand, but it's like you're taking everything your game was made to be different and kind of like putting it the same as everyone else, which honestly, I mean, everyone thought they would like this, but ended up everyone wanted to like this, but no one liked the changes. It was just like they wanted just Call of Duty, like.
Well, okay, here's the story.
Yeah, sorry.
They're like, what are you talking about? So Respawn is releasing an update number 6, and they're gonna add a new game mode called Pilot Skirmish. It's gonna be 8v8 pilots only, no Titans, no AI at all. So it's only pilots. A lot of people have been asking for this. A lot of people don't like the AI. They say that it doesn't work for this type of game. It might work for League of Legends and other MOBAs, but a lot of people feel like it just doesn't work for a first-person shooter.
I wonder if it's. I'm always curious. I was curious why that is. Is it because they feel that kills are too easy because they're killing these guys, or is it because people will hide in the, like, you don't know who to kill first because the AI obviously kills you. Doesn't almost kill you.
Yeah, like it practically never kills you. I guess. Okay, I think it's multiple things. One thing is that it's supposed to be like a farm system, as like in MOBAs, right? Where you kill your AI so you can get your Titan faster or whatnot. But then in MOBAs, there's more options than just like a Titan for farming. You
you basically get your whole equipment. If I'm not
mistaken.
I haven't played many of them, but from what I see, they're casting spells and what are those called? Like haste and stuff like that. Like
and dude, seriously, correct us if we're wrong because I don't play MOBAs.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't play MOBAs at all, so I don't know. But from what I understand, the farm system is you kill a bunch of these AIs and it just builds up your levels and meters and whatever, all this stuff. And I feel like if that's the case, that's part of why it doesn't work in Titanfall because all you're really farming for is to get your Titan faster, which is cool, but that kind of loses its charm. I like Titans. I think Titans were well balanced with pilots. Yeah. I think that they're fun to play with, but I liked the movement so much that I found myself when I played Titanfall, I played it maybe for like a month, and then I got bored of it. But I found myself like the first 2-3 days, every time I get a Titan, I'll jump in and try to do work. But then I found myself just
using the autopilot
and walking around because it was so much fun just to be a pilot, just to do all the parkour stuff and like the movement was so good and so free that I felt I liked that better, and
Right.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people felt that way because they made the playlist,
Yeah.
But I guess my question is it too late? Because I don't know. You just hear stories of everybody getting bored of it, but I don't know the statistics. I don't know if people are still playing it.
People. I remember reading some comments for the article, and they're saying like they have no problem finding lobbies, and usually, I mean, that's how usually you would when you're playing. That's how you determine if the game is dead or not. How fast you can find the game.
And in that same comment section, I saw some guy respond to him. It's like I don't have trouble finding lobbies either, but I keep playing against the same people over and over again. Too. So it's one of those things, and that's happened to me playing. Like for example, I still play Black Ops 2, and while there's still a lot of people that play, if you play at night and you play a playlist like Hardpoint, there's only like 400 or 500 people on there.
If you're lucky.
If you're like
160.
Yeah. So, and you just keep playing against the same people over and over again. Like, I know some guys just like, oh, hey, like, hey, what's up, man?
Oh, man, not this guy.
Yeah, this motherfucker. All right, let's go. Like, so it's definitely... If that's happening to people now in Titanfall, then and they followed the whole DLC release thing. They did their 3-4 DLCs, new maps and all that. And at this point, I feel kind of like they're just playing. I feel like Respawn is just setting themselves up for part 2.
Yeah, I think they this wasn't a major disaster.
No,
it wasn't a success. Like, it wasn't a major success either. Like, they were hoping, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a major success. I don't need to see any fucking numbers to tell you that. When I look on my friends list, there's not one person playing Titanfall.
They're either playing Black Ops 2 or not playing anything.
No, I mean, no, because I have friends, they'll be playing GTA 5, they'll be playing Minecraft, right. They'll be playing... all the new games like Battle Block, whatever comes out for it. Games, right. So people. My friends list is not one of those that is just one game. There's people playing different stuff, and now one of these people are playing Titanfall
because no one else is playing it too.
So I mean, it's one of those things where it definitely wasn't major. It wasn't a major success. It wasn't a game changer. What a lot of people were thinking. I was hoping it was going to be that too, because the game is fun.
And that's how I'm looking at Advanced Warfare right now.
Yeah.
Because it looks like, oh, this new stuff, but it's like, is it really gonna change? Like, people didn't like the changes in Titanfall. What makes me think that they're gonna like this?
Yeah.
What's it gonna be like? What is it gonna take for these people to be like, okay, we want something new? You know what I mean?
And by and large, I mean, I always try to see it from the positive angle. I think. For example, Advanced Warfare, I just can't judge it till it comes out because for one, I haven't heard many people dislike Titanfall. It was more of there's not enough game modes, there's not enough guns, there's no ranking system. It's like if it had those things, I did a commentary about getting bored about Titanfall, so I don't want to restate everything I said there. But one of the main points that I said is. If you have a beautiful car, a classic car, and you have a fucking beautiful sick ass engine, you're halfway there. But then if you want to really make up this car, you gotta paint it, you gotta add your nice wheels, nice rims, all that stuff. That's what Titanfall is. That to me, it has
just a frame.
It has the nice framework and engine. Now it just needs all the little extra perk stuff. And I actually didn't mind that they did it that way, because to me they're kind of looking to the future. Because if you think about it, what the problem for me with games now is that they start adding all this stuff. They add firefight, they add horde mode, they add theater, they add forge. They had Spec Ops. They had all these AAA games. They had to have all these little check marks that they had to check off. Those are all extra shit. I don't give a shit about any of that unless the game is good. If the game is good,
the core mechanics have to be
good. If that's good, then give me all the other shit. But don't give me all the other shit. Don't give me just a frame of a car with no engine in it. Call of Duty Ghosts.
Don't give me the greatest looking thing ever, but have no substance.
Exactly.
Have no way of going anywhere.
So that's why I don't worry too much about Titanfall, because they sold a lot. They sold a lot of copies. So they made their money, which means they're green lighted for part 2.
Yep.
Hopefully in part 2 they'll give us a real campaign. They'll give us more playlists. They'll give us more guns. And now they can start experimenting with all this type of shit, like the AV8 playlist. If that becomes popular, then they know that in part 2, okay, now so we can.
Hopefully it isn't too much of a software thing where they can't do it. Because it would be cool, like 8, maybe like 12v12 with some bots. With Titans, as a game mode. And
then people were saying that too.
Yeah, like, just a regular 12-on-12 with Titans only. Yeah. And then one with just fucking Titans.
Yeah, and see what works best. And always, you guys gotta remember, the people who made this game were a small team. There are like 60, 70 people, and that's not a big team. Most AAA games now are 300. Minimum 300 people working on the game.
Building they have to buy for them.
Yeah, exactly. So it's almost really clear now to me that this is the beta test. Like the beta,
$60 beta.
Yeah, like you bought into a sick ass beta, and you'll see you reap your benefit, fucking when that comes up. Speaking of which. Really side tangent. I think it'd be really cool if they did this. This is really side tangent thing, but back in Halo 3, before Halo Reach came out, they gave free copies of Halo Reach, and they gave months of gold to people who kept playing Halo 3 online. So what happened was there is like this. They had all the statistics. Like Bungie had these statistics of people, how long they played, like in 2010. 2010 is when Halo 3 had been on already for 3 years, and Halo Reach was coming out, and there were still a lot of people playing Halo 3, and they chose some
the top percent.
They chose the people who had like still put in like an amazing amount of time into the game as like their loyal fans. I almost feel like Titanfall,
not just Titanfall, every game should be like I should be able to connect my DS to the. When I was connected to the internet, Nintendo or Game Freak should be able to get my fucking information, see how many hours I have in Pokemon, and be like, deliver it to my house.
Yeah, like they should have a personal representative from fucking Nintendo just show up. It's just like, thank you for all the time that you put into our game. Here's a free copy of the new one. But no, I think I just thought of Titanfall just because I feel like it's a beta test for a lot of these people, and some of these people really are diehard fans and keep playing until Titanfall 2 comes out. Then they deserve some shit. Yeah. They deserve some shit. It. All right, our last story today. This one was cool.
Yeah, this one I haven't heard of. I mean, I've heard of this thing. I just didn't know it was a thing. You know what I mean?
And it's becoming a real big issue, which is swatting. And if you guys don't know what swatting is somebody calls the police, and they call through like the Skype app or something like that, so they can't be traced. Mm-hmm. And then they tell them, I've murdered my whole family. I'm in my room, or something like that. Or and then...
Or I'm a danger, like just one of those typical, I'm a danger to society.
Yeah.
I'm about to kill people.
And so what ends up happening, like that threat is, threats are no joke, as they say. The threat is so extreme that the police send a SWAT team into the house and try to fucking, stop the person or capture them or whatever. And then it's a big thing in the gaming community, because a lot of big live streamers and YouTubers have been swatted for the past 5-6 years, but it's been getting worse and worse and worse. Just 2-3 weeks ago, White Boy 7th Street, who used to be a big Call of Duty guy, he's not as big anymore. But besides the fact, he's still he's known.
Yeah, he does Twitch.
He's a known person. He got swatted, and then they found weed in his house, and he got arrested, and he's facing jail time and all that type of stuff.
And that sucks. I mean, I understand, it's weed or whatever, but still, just
it's just his weed, dude. It's
not just that. Just you come into this guy's house on basically false information.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's okay. I don't know how the
the jurisdiction rights and all that.
Right. It's just because you can't just search a person's house without them actually giving you cause.
But they had. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean they had this cause, but it's just like, it just sucks that it could be that easy. Like,
yeah.
Like if I wanted to, if I knew, one of the YouTubers does do weed or whatever, something I know is illegal, I can just swat them and they'll be facing jail time, and I'll probably go free. Like no one's gonna do anything.
So that's the thing, guys. It's really hard to trace who does the call, because they usually do it from an anonymous like Skype app or something.
Yeah, that's
something.
another thing. Like if you can't, fucking, if they're giving you the address but you can't trace them, like, I mean, to me, there's just like, that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like,
but I mean, it's like they have to take these threats.
Yeah,
they have to, because if one time they're like, oh, this is just a kid playing around, and then it ends up being like a mass murder or something, then it's like, what the fuck? So they have to take all these threats.
Unfortunately, they have like, they get, no matter what they do, they're gonna get shit for it.
But so the reason we thought of this in the first place was there's this article. It's a fake article, but it kind of caught fire in social media. People thought it was real, which was this kid, this 15-year-old kid got 25 years in prison for swatting, because it was called domestic terrorism and all that. And I think the reason that people believed it is because people want, like,
that's such a horrible thing. Like,
yeah.
I remember I never really cared about booters until I started playing with you on Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
I was just like, God, I hope these guys like get like fucking, because that's another illegal thing, right? The DDoSing,
like, yeah. I mean, it's in the real world, I guess it's not a big issue, quote unquote, but like it is in the sense, at least for swatting, it's a big deal to the authorities, because they're spending money, like.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, like, it just sucks. Like, why is it so easy? Why they're not getting caught, and it's just gonna keep happening.
Yeah.
And the police unfortunately can't stop.
Yeah, they can. They have to keep going out. But now there's certain situations, for example, I know, and the Optic House was being swatted a lot when they first moved in. They were being swatted like once a week minimum. And it got to the point where they talked to their local police station, and they told them, "Look, we're an online gaming team, and that we, this." So they explained everything, and they told them, if you get a call like that and it's to our address, call me, call Hex, call Scump or whatever, and just confirm with us before you come out here. That way,
or at least just send one guy to check out the house. Well,
yeah.
But that's another thing. Like, what if the Optic Gaming crew is like decided to like just go?
No, I know exactly, but it's
perfect cover.
It's just, it'd be too much money for them to waste, the police, because every time that they send people out there, they gotta pay for the SWAT, they pay for all the vehicles and all the taxpayers are paying. Exactly, the taxpayers pay for that. Because then you have fucking helicopters and all that, like, all this stuff happens, and then money is wasted. And it's not a big deal to people, but it's a big deal to the authorities. I mean, I know that they're getting fucking mad about it, but that's what I thought. That's why it was funny reading that the article, like, people were tweeting it out. It was just like, finally, they got some motherfucking, like, they're
gonna interrogate, like,
yeah.
Can you imagine, like, if they were like, we know you're working with other people. We need a name. Give us any name.
And it would have been, if it were true, it would be a strong message. That's why people wanted it to be true, because it'd be a strong message to other people who are swatting and be like, oh shit, they're catching
a lot of the wimps of the swatters would stop, because right now, they're power hungry. They're they know it's very unlikely that there hasn't been much, So once someone gets caught, it's going to die down, but there's still going to be those people that still feel that power, and they still think they're immune or, can't be affected by it at all.
Yeah.
Like they're gods in that sense.
Yes. Gods.
Yes.
Okay.
I couldn't think of a better word.
You were stuttering enough. I'm sorry. No, but yeah, what do you guys think of this story? I thought it was funny that it caught fire kind of social media, just because like it just shows how much people want it to be true. So they want fucking somebody to get arrested for swatting. So that, before we go, actually on top of that, there was something kind of related to this. A couple of years ago, Zerg Grizz, who was a huge Call of Duty YouTuber, and his YouTube channel was hacked by a hacker, not like a real hacker, but a kind of like wannabe hacker, and just cracked his system, his password, and Grizz actually got him thrown in jail. And I remember Grizz got some flack for it, but most of the community was behind him.
Fuck that! Like, I don't know. Why would you give anyone any flack for that? Like,
I mean, like, it's just like, oh, he's just a kid. He was like 18 or something. The kid was 18. It's just like, you know, he's just having fun. He didn't, you know, like, it's not that serious. It's just YouTube, which is partly true. But then when you think about somebody like Zerg Grizz, that was his livelihood at the time. Like, that was the way he made money. So you took his stuff away for 2 weeks, and that's 2 weeks where you just took away all his money. Mm-hmm. And he was willing to pay a lawyer to make it happen. That's how much he was angry about it, and how big of a message he wanted to send to other hackers.
That's the thing. Like, it should like be that kind of thing where like it's more for the message more than the person that gets not the victim, but the what is it called, the criminal, I guess.
Yeah.
It's more for the message it shows everyone else, besides not just this one person.
Yeah, exactly. And I think at least at the time, I know that story now has been kind of forgotten because it's been like 4 years. But at the time, it was like, oh shit, like don't hack your channel. You know? I'm not touching that. Like, you know,
I'm not even going on YouTube for 2 days.
Yeah, like, I feel dirty. Just
what if I accidentally somehow my computer logged into someone else's account? Like, oh god, no.
And like I said, this kid brought it onto himself because he posted the video of him doing it. So like he showed the video of him hacking Grizz, and it wasn't, like I said, it's not even like a real hacker. It was kind of like a little trick to hack the account, but it wasn't like somebody who knows like sick ass code and shit. Like, so it was one of those things. Like, I think if it was like a real hacker, they'll know how to get around.
They'll delete the whole channel. Leave and nothing.
They wouldn't have got caught.
They would delete all his information. Who is this Grizz?
Yeah, fuck this guy. No, but yeah, let us know what you guys think of that story. I think I don't know. I don't want to be swatted. Like whatever. Like.
Now it's gonna happen.
I know. Oh, the cops are coming in. No, I'm not. People don't give a shit about me. Enough to get swatted.
Right.
But yeah, I think people really want it to happen. So let us know what you guys think of these stories. New 3DS, Mario Kart DLC. Who's buying the new 3DS? Are you getting it from Japan or Europe? Hobby Heavy is for sure.
If you have an extra one, I'll buy it off you.
No matter what the cost, just write the price on a paper, fold it, and walk away. Like, leave an envelope there too, so he can put the money in there.
I'm just giving them a check. Yeah. Talking about. Here, nothing.
Blank check? Check. There, you're just writing blank checks now for 3Ds. Yeah, for sure. Alright, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Nerds with Glasses podcast. I'm Knowledge.
I'm Javi.
Later.
Later, guys.